Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Psychic Medium Raymond Guzman, and today I'm going to be doing a reading on the lovely BlackPink group. Now, looking at these young ladies, you would think that they are in their teen years because they look so young. But I think, not to sound stereotypical, but a lot of Asian or Korean people, they seem to not age. Like, it seems like they're always a lot younger than what they really are. And these lovely young ladies are in their mid-20s or like early 20s. So don't let their looks fool you, even though they dress very much like teenagers in some ways. I guess the culture is different, the fashion's different from where they're from. So I don't know them. I've never heard of the group other than here on my channel. Some people have requested for me to do this reading, so I'm going to just get straight to it. I'm going to talk about each one individually, and then I'm going to get into it as a group cohesively. So I'm going to start off with Rosie or Rose, whatever her name is. I probably butchered it already, but that's how I get it. Maybe it's Rosie. I don't know. But the girl on the left, we're going to start with her. I feel like she's going through a transformational period. I see a lot of changes with her in regards to the group, personal pursuits and goals. I do feel like there is a guy that may be interested in her. There is someone in communication with her if she's not already in a relationship. And I get that. I also feel like her father, like there is a father figure in her life. So I don't know if this is her biological dad or it would be somebody that is like a management in the management production that is like a father figure for her. But I feel like there's a lot of communication and advice that, and I feel like she would be more inclined to listen to a male father figure type than listening to her mom. I also feel like she feels like there's something that needs to be given to her. I feel like she doesn't feel like on a deep level, like maybe she's getting her earnings or getting the fame as the other girls in the group, which I feel like there is some conflict. Don't let their pretty faces fool you, because I do feel like even though they get great, they seem very sweet and everything, behind the scenes, I feel like it's a different story. And this is typical with, any kind of girl band or boy band group. But I do pick up on that. I also feel like she feels like she has more talent or abilities that she hasn't been able to use. And so there is this point in her life, maybe in a couple of years from now, maybe not immediately, where she is going to be kind of delving into something different, maybe like a different avenue, pursuing something a little bit different while still doing music. I see her not being patient at all. So patience is very big for her. I feel like that is an area where she's just not very settled. I feel like things can disturb her peace. Articles that are written about them as a group, about her voice, criticism, she doesn't take it very well. So Spirit is saying for her to stay kind of, in a humble place. Don't let ego get to you, and continue to work with the group, because there's going to be more opportunities and things that will come from working in the group or any other pursuits that fall in her lap. And I do feel like sometimes she feels misunderstood or lonely. And if she doesn't now, this is something to pay attention. I also get, again, like they're very intelligent girls, young ladies. I feel like there is something about studying another language, learning other languages, or learning some kind of craft. Again, something to fall back on. I don't feel like they necessarily are just want to pursue music careers their entire life. I feel like there is something more for them. But again, I feel like it is a point where, she's going to have to kind of ask herself, does she want to stay in the group or pursue like a solo career, or just do something entirely different, like in the creative world, because she comes across very much so like a teacher in this physical world. So and she doesn't, I don't mean like she has to be a teacher and teach kids curriculum and stuff like that, but there's many ways to teach people lessons, teach them about life, etc. I kind of feel like she's going to follow more of that path as she gets older and has kids, because I will say this, I feel like all of them will eventually have kids of their own, but they're very young right now. And again, I don't know what their personal lives are like or their relationships, but I'm giving you what I see from Spirit. So now I'm going to get into, is it Jisoo? I'm going to get into her and tell you exactly what I see. All right, with Jisoo, Jisoo. I hope I pronounced that right. I see with her, she does put on a very sweet. I feel like she's very sweet, her demeanor, and she puts on a brave face. Was what I was trying to get to. But I feel like with her, there are going to be some challenges. I feel like she has been working hard, but I also feel like all the girls in the group, some of them may not feel like they have the spotlight like the other girls, or the same attention, or the same fan base. There's something with her that she needs to be careful. I don't know if one of the girls in the group is going to betray her, but I feel like there's this caution. And I also feel like it's not just the girls in the group, because I honestly feel like they always make up, or they can, get along. This is more with a guy. This is someone that is interested in her, that may be romantically pursuing her. Again, I don't know her situation, but if she's in a relationship, or when she gets that point, basically in her love life, she does need to be careful, because I feel like there is something there that that could end up breaking her heart, lying to her, being deceptive, and could be taken advantage of. I also feel like she's a natural born witch. I feel like she's very much has like abilities that she hasn't even tapped into. Clairvoyance, claircognizance, meaning that she can see things, is kind of into the mystical stuff. Or if she isn't now, there's going to be an attraction towards spirituality, things of that nature with her. I feel her that she's going to be going on a journey very soon. This could be with the group, but I feel like this may be more by herself, taking a journey, a sabbatical, not necessarily, I don't want to use the word a sabbatical, but like a vacation. And there's a lot that she's like thinking of the future in everything that she does. She's thinking a lot about the future, what she can do, what she can bring to the table that's different. So with her, there's a lot about a journey. I see a lot of hard work being put in, and I also feel like she has goals to be a mom, to have a family. That's something that she thinks about, but she's kind of afraid of commitment in some way. There's a fear that is there. I also see her reaching the end of a cycle. When I talk about an end of a cycle, I feel like it's a end of a period where she may just say, one of these days, I love being in the girl group. I love, doing this, but I also have other pursuits or passions and things that I want to do by myself. And I feel like she's going to struggle. Like, I feel throughout her life, she's going to have struggle because she doubts herself a lot. And it's the inner monologue or inner dialogue that she has with herself, with her higher self. It's almost like a disconnected. For her, meditation would be key, keeping herself grounded, because she is almost like an air sign, even though she's not. I don't know what her astrological stuff is, but she reminds me of myself, like a Gemini, an Aquarius, or a Libra. That is very almost like an air sign that is always in the air. Their mind's always like in the mental aspect, that they're always thinking, always going. And I just feel like, for her, she's wanting more. She's wanting financial stability, not just the earnings from the girl group, but eventually settling down with a partner that is level-headed, grounded, and has a lot to offer to her. So again, I see like a lot of different changes. She's also, like I said, I see a purple aura with her, a very indigo type of aura. So and with a Rose or Rosie, the one that I had done before, with her, I see more of a blue aura with her. So they all have their individual auras. Okay, so now I'm going to get into Lisa and see what Spirit says about Lisa. All right, and as we get into Lisa, I feel like with her, there is some eyes set on love, her love life. I feel like that's something that she may have aspirations to. She's very creative, very fashion forward, very wants kind of like to stand out a little bit more. She's more of a rebel. I feel like for her right now, over the next 2 years, there's going to be a lot of focus on her love life. I also feel like things are changing for her. The dynamic, she has been hurt in the past, by comments, things that people have said about her, maybe even some of the girls in the group. But I feel like, for the most part, that there is an older man that she will eventually be in a relationship with at some point. But I feel like she needs to be careful. One thing that she's going to always have is money. I feel like it was destined in her life here on earth to always have money, because I feel like in previous past lives she had a lot of struggles where she never got to enjoy life as a whole person. And so I see her very ambitious, aspiring towards goals and having those and making it. I do feel like for her that sometimes she may feel like like her hands are tied behind her back and almost like she is at a standstill with some of the decisions. So she doesn't always agree with the consensus of the people that are in the management group or people that are trying to, like, interviewers and things like that, how they peg them out to be. I feel like there is some issues there. I also see a lot of traveling for her over the next 2 years. And I feel like eventually she's going to do something with clothing. There's something creative either with makeup, clothing, something like designing, going into that kind of aspect, and also writing. I don't know if she writes any of the music for the group or is into that, or any of the girls, but with her in particular I feel like there's a lot more that she can do, that she's going to discover about herself over the next couple of years. And I really feel like she has a good soul, and she's very upfront and tells you like it is. She doesn't withhold a lot of stuff in kind of like Rosie does, or Jisoo. I feel like she's a lot more outspoken, blunt, kind of like, in your face, and tells it like it is. So that's the energy I get with her. And now we're going to get on to Jennie, and we're going to get into see what Spirit says for her. All right, and we get into Jennie. Jennie is an old soul. I like her energy. She's the strongest one out of all the girls in the group. Her and Lisa, I feel like, are the strongest, followed by Jisoo, and then Rosie or Rose. But I do get with Jennie that there are some things that she needs to be careful with, on the lookout for, because I feel like in the next 18 months or so that there could be some arguments, some issues with communication and how she gets messages across, how she's feeling. I feel like she can bottle things up, but then I feel like she's also knows how to, verbalize and kind of socialize with the girls. I also see love coming into her life. So if that's an area where she's not focused at, I see true love for her in particular and Lisa. So, like if she hasn't been thinking of love, I feel like love is definitely coming into her life. I also see, money being used. Like I feel like when she gets any money or anything like that, she's always worried about her family or friends, and she's very giving. And throughout life, she's going to be a very giving soul, whether it's giving her time, her energy, her advice to other people. But I see her always giving, because that is like her true nature as a healer, as a light worker, as someone in the world that just does music and entertainment. I don't see her doing this forever. I do see her having her own family as well. I do feel like, that she's going to be very successful in all of her future endeavors. And for her, I feel like it's business mind or an entrepreneur mindset. I see like something very new being created, like it could be a new idea or goal. But for the long term, it's going to be business oriented, and there will be money from that. I also feel like there could be something legal that follows her, or that, not necessarily like against her, but where she may have to like fight for something on a legal basis. This could be, some kind of rights to music or etc. It's something that is still not happening now. It's not clear, but Spirit does show that there is something about legal issues down the road with her in particular, or someone in her family, and it will be impacting. This could be like something very simple, because when people hear me say legal, they automatically think prison, jail, ticket, fine, something like child support, and that's not what I'm talking about. With her, this could be something where like a property or an estate, there is a contract, and her maybe having to go before court to sign something, or like, every country has their own set guidelines, that there is something legal coming in. I feel like it could be also like trying to wait for a visa or something like for a permanent residency, like in the USA or somewhere, another country. But there is something of that nature. She kind of doubts herself at sometimes. Spirit doesn't want you to doubt yourself, Jennie. Spirit says that, you have all the tools and things at your disposal. I feel like she hasn't tapped into a lot of that yet, but she is at that point where she is going to eventually tap into a lot of these things. I feel like she holds the group together. She brings a lot of light, very connected to her divine masculine. I feel like her life will be a very peaceful and yet filled with a lot of blessings throughout her lifetime. And she probably will grow to be an old person, because I feel like, she has a full life ahead of her. As a group now, as a whole, I like the dynamic of the group, the energy. I do feel like they need to be more communicative and more not afraid to verbalize what they feel as a collective, as the girl group BlackPink. I do also feel like at some point there is going to be another girl group that the media or people in the world are going to kind of compare them to. I know that they've been compared to like Fifth Harmony and some other girl groups out there, but I feel like there's another younger group that's going to come up after them in a couple of years, and it may be sooner, that is going to be like a big competition, and they're going to kind of like rival them, and there's going to be this kind of rivalry, not necessarily that these girls have, but you know how media spins things. They spin a narrative about them being against each other, and I feel like that is something that is going to kind of the success that they're having now, I feel like for the next 3 years or so they're going to be very successful. But I also feel like there is something about someone else coming in and kind of taking over the charts, or taking over their kind of stage presence that they have right now in their respective countries, like Korea, South Korea, North Korea, in those areas, like Japan, China. I feel like they are well known throughout the Asian world and also worldwide in other countries, even in the United States. There's a lot of fans that they have garnered. But again, they need to just remember that when there are other people that are competing, they need to stay humble and stay rooted to their foundation, to what made them successful, and always be ever changing and evolving. And again, we haven't seen the last of BlackPink, so I feel like there's a lot more for them as a group and individually, their own projects. So this is my reading on the girl group BlackPink. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, be sure to follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Psychic Medium Ray. And don't forget, if you want to book a private reading with me, all of my readings, well, I will say this, my psychic readings and my 12-month yearly outlook readings are on sale right now. So go ahead and book your reading today if you want to. If not, follow me, like I said, on social media. Blessings and love and light. Have an amazing day or night wherever you are in the world. Bye.